Hello everyone, welcome back to another week 1 of 531. You will be sending your kids off to college and I'll still be doing this program. You'll have grandkids and I'll be doing a deload week. You'll retire and I'll be up in the weights hopefully trying to get to 1,000 pounds. If I haven't already made it clear, I guess, my goal is to try to hit 1,000 pounds on squat, bench, and deadlift. And I'll throw up a little graph here. And basically, this graph, the green line shows my total for those 3 lifts, and then the blue is my weight. So I'm kind of tracking these 2 things. You can see that, it was a little bit, hopeful or very optimistic in the beginning, but things seem to have cooled down. Regardless, I'm still happy with my progress, but the title here, Mistakes Were Made, alludes to the fact that I made some mistakes. So, man, so I think I said it last week's video that I was going to just go ahead and do pull-ups until I hit 50. So on the assistance work, twice a week, I do pull-ups. And, I've been trying to get to 5 by 10, haven't gotten there yet. And so I said, you know what, let's just go ahead and do, 50 pull-ups total, however many sets that takes. And, oh man, that was a mistake. So I'm, standing here recording and I am broken. My lats hurt. Everything hurts so much, even though it's been like 6 days since I did those 50. But regardless, I do think it was probably a good idea. I think, I'll get used to it, and I think I'll probably end up doing maybe not that many sets, but probably just add a few more to get closer and closer to that 50. Anyways, here's a side view of me doing overhead press. Overall, I think this week went pretty all right with me. I don't know if this is a mistake, but the other thing that I did to maybe overexert myself a little bit was I added weight to the maxes. So, whatever it said my 1 rep max was at the end of last block, I just added 5 pounds to the bench and the overhead press portions. I added 10 to the deadlift and the squats. So, so far, I figured I should be able to do at least 1 rep, so it shouldn't be the worst thing, but probably that's contributed to my fatigue. And so, yeah, this Brady Bunch amalgamation of pull-ups is, I think, probably what caused me a great deal of suffering over the last few days. It could be that, it could be the excess weight that I added to the other lifts, especially with the accessory work, because those numbers also go up. In any case, I tried to change up the lighting. It's not consistent throughout all of these, but I am, experimenting around, seeing what I can do to make things, look better. Here it's probably too bright, but shout out. I've had 2 YouTube comments so far, and I have 4 subscribers. I expected 0 subscribers until the end of my days, kind of treating this more as like a, diary of mine rather than something to put out into the world for everyone, but I'm happy. And so, yeah, the comment was basically just talking about my deadlift form. And yeah, I think I looked back and changed some things up here. Honestly, I think at some point in my life I was deadlifting fine, and then I just got used to this like weird pattern. Probably because of the squatting. I think certain things just were sore, and so I just did things in a not great way. But what I changed here basically is the bar is basically right over my forefoot, and I'm taking the slack out of the bar before I start lifting it. I am recording myself doing all these lifts, and even 1 video a week, it doesn't seem like much, but when you are working, recording, editing, and then voicing over it, it feels like I'm still kind of working at a breakneck pace sometimes. So, even though I'm putting these videos out, I'm not reviewing them as much as I probably should for my own benefit. But, looking at this, I think my spine is pretty neutral. I'm okay with that. And then definitely happier with this form. And what this allowed me to do was, this is 305 pounds. I was supposed to do, 5 reps or more. And I ended up doing, I think, 8, I believe. So very happy with that. And then for the overhead press as well, I think I did more than I expected. It was shown on the screen, but I was definitely happy with that progress as well. So here we are, just lifting away. But this week was hard, and I, obviously had shifts to do through it. Overall, Thanksgiving week is coming up, so I'm not sure exactly what my schedule is going to look like there. So, there's always a chance I maybe eat more than I'm supposed to, or things kind of go off the rails like 2%. Because of that, I think it's always a good idea to push yourself a little bit harder the week before. Like, it's okay if I need an extra day or so to recover, because life happens and I'll probably have that day regardless of whether or not I want it. But this week was, well, you saw the graph, so it's becoming a little more apparent that this is going to probably take a little bit longer than I hoped for, hitting 1,000 pounds. And I'm debating whether or not I should just keep going until I hit 1,000, or if I should kind of do it in a couple of segments. So, I'd given myself until March to, put on some weight, not go too crazy. And then after March, start cutting maybe until like August. I'm not exactly sure what things will look like then, like how close I'll be to my goal, how much weight I'll have gained. But I do think I'm leaning towards maybe trying to hit 900 pounds for total. Sorry about that. And in March, starting the cut, 900 pounds seems doable. And it's still like 4 months away. So I'm thinking that'll be reasonable. But then, that begs the other question: what do I do in March? Do I continue doing 5-3-1, or do I go ahead and switch to more of like a bodybuilding style? I'm thinking I might just continue 5-3-1, watch the weights that I can do slowly go down, hopefully very slowly, and maybe add in a couple exercises for like biceps and side delts. Yeah, it should be okay. Regardless, we've moved on to bench day. So I have a buddy with me, and so I don't want strangers in the frame, so I have that awkward zoom in. And yeah, I did 170 for 6 there. I think that's actually now that I say that out loud, that's actually pretty good. Yeah, it just dawned on me that I did 170 for 6. Wow. So I'm actually pretty proud of that. That works out to a lot more than I expected myself to be able to do maybe like 5 years ago, or even earlier this year. So, this progress is also going well. And again, I added the 5 pounds to the max, so hopefully we keep it up. And yeah, I'm thinking, we hit that 225 goal someday, and we get a new bench, and maybe, I don't know what that would add, but maybe I'd be more stable and might add a little bit of weight as well. And then I'm debating getting wrist straps. I don't know. Let me know if you guys use them, or what your thoughts on what your thoughts are on wrist straps. Like with straps for deadlift, I don't think I need them yet. But I'll see. And so here we are with the squats. You're seeing a different side of me, the left side to be precise. And yeah, weights go up, weights go down, weights come up. The total volume lifted during these sessions it's outrageous. I think during that deadlift session, it was close to 14,000 pounds just like picked up and put back down. There's got to be something I can do with that. There's got to be some I know there's been research papers at MIT. They have I think floors that when you walk on them, that little energy that you transmit into the floor, they store that or use that energy. Maybe if they could find something similar for these weights that we lift, we can add like another renewable resource or something. So here we go, up and down. And again, I don't know if maybe the deadlift attempts made me tired, or what it was on these squats, but yeah, I feel like I just barely eked out the 5, and I wish I could do more. So this was a little bit disappointing, but I was able to match what the program wanted me to do, assuming I think like a 240 or 250 one rep max. So hopefully this means that I'll be able to, 10 pound beat my prior, and that'll just get me closer to my goal. And yeah, these are so tough. These accessory movements, like you add 5 or 10 pounds to them, it doesn't sound like much, and it wouldn't be for like one set, but if you do them for 5 sets, it is exhausting. So right now I'm maybe 3 days out from this session, this squat session, and my quads are toasted. I guess the one other thing I've been doing, I biked, I believe, about 3 hours this week on that indoor bike. So, it was a mixture of like zone 2 and zone 5, or attempted zone 5, but mostly zone 2. And I think doing that in addition to everything else probably contributed to my massive amount of quad soreness. So I think for this next week, we won't, do the cardio as much. I'm going around and walking around the neighborhood, but we're not going to do anything more explosive, or I guess more intensive than that. And if we can just get those numbers to go higher and higher, I'll be happy.